Hey, what's up, guys? Anthony here, and I'm here with a very special guest. His album just dropped. Make sure they see my face. Very happy to have Kenna. Thanks for being on the show, man.
No, thank you.
Very much appreciated. So,
Yeah, man.
album just came out.
Yeah.
Any nerves with it? I mean, how you feeling?
You know what? It's like giving birth. It's beyond nerves at this point.
Right.
I just want it out. You know? But it's exciting, you know. I hate to be cliche, but it really is exciting because it's been a long time coming, and it's taken a long time to put together, and so it's good that it's out now.
Definitely. And speaking of a long time, in 2003, it's 4 years.
Right.
And I'm sure in those 4 years, you've changed as a person.
True.
I mean, I'm sure Chad has changed as a person.
Yeah.
I mean, is that, you know, in the sound, has the album changed or the sound changed in those 4 years?
You know what's really interesting about Chad and I is that our minds, the way we think, is so 10 years from now. Like,
right.
we're constantly thinking so far ahead that sometimes we have to slow ourselves down.
Right.
The reality is, like, it probably is the best thing that we did this record over the past few years to get to this point, because it may just hit at the right time and not be so ahead. You know, it's a great, the sonics of it are so we use a lot of technology, and we try to bring a lot of otherworldly type of
right.
sonics. It's something that can be a barrage to a lot of people, and it may not be caught, they may not catch it the first time through. So it was good that it took us a little while, because I think it's probably hitting the world at the right time. Because
Okay.
Chad is a genius.
Right.
I mean, this is the reason why I'm saying this is not to, like, you know,
Yeah.
it's not like that. It's just that he's so amazing on a lot of levels, and he creates such incredible scapes and sounds. It is the future, and I'm blessed to be able to just, you know, be up on top of those and to bring music and write around those things that he creates. And you know, so for that reason alone, I think it's better that it takes a little more time.
I've always felt as an artist that you are very progressive and forward thinking, as well as the whole Neptunes. Do you think at times that can be a gift and a curse?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a blessing and a curse, but to me, an artist isn't one that fits the mold.
Right.
An artist is one that makes a mold, and I've said that a few times, because I feel like to a lot of degree what's happening in the world is we've just gotten to the point where we're so derivative, copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, and so to a degree I feel like that's why I exist, and that's why the Neptunes exist, is to push the boundaries and to reach into oblivion and create things that haven't been seen before, so that people are reminded, and other artists are reminded, that they have to do the same, because we all need challenges. I mean, the Beatles had the Beach Boys when they created Sgt. Pepper. It was completely because of Pet Sounds, you know, and Hendrix influenced them, and people, back in the day, we used to always be influenced by the artist that was next to us, and we wanted to be as good as them, if not better than them. So that's what I feel like the Neptunes represent. That's what I represent, and that's what I feel like Timbaland and Kanye and all these other characters right now that are pushing the boundaries. I feel like that's what they represent, and that's what I aspire.
Now, speaking of Chad, and you grew up with these, I mean, you went to high school with these dudes, and
yeah.
I want to actually, you know, I read the cover in the back, man, and I was reading your thanks, and to Chad Hugo for being my band, my friend. You're a spectacular human being. Without you, my music will not exist in the way we have imagined it and created it today. I mean, it's just got to be very special for you. Not only you're working with your friend, but I mean, you guys are on great business terms. That's got to feel a little different working just with your friend.
Yeah, you know, it's great. It's great. It's also a blessing and a curse, right? Because you end up working with people that are your friends, and you have some fears of, like, having some kind of fallout or something goes wrong or whatever. But when you've been friends for so long, it reaches the point where you know each other to a degree where you respect each other, and you know that they have your best interest in mind, and you know that you're not always right. I'd love to believe that I'm always right, but I'm not always right.
Yeah, when we all.
Yeah. So Chad is my checks and balances, and I'm Chad's checks and balances. And the same thing applies with Pharrell, with Chad, and as the Neptunes, as a team with Pharrell and I. It's turned out now that I'm on Star Trek, it's turned out that he and I are checks and balances for each other as well when it comes to my project specifically, you know. It's a good relationship because we all know we're peers, you know. It's always bad when you get into those situations when somebody really feels like they're bigger than someone else, right? We all look at each other as peers, and we respect each other, and we really take on, you know, each other's opinions and want for the best thing at the end of the day. As long as it's the best thing, the egos can go out the door.
Definitely. And I gotta bring this up. Now, I saw this on YouTube.
Yeah.
Pharrell talking about Chad's father. And I was dying.
Oh, yeah, no.
I was dying, man. So he seems like he's one of the coolest dudes, man.
Yeah, no.
It was
Chad's
so
dad?
funny. Yeah, Chad's dad.
Chad's dad is hilarious. But we all have we have characters for parents. Like, Pharrell's dad is a character. He's amazing and strong character, and Chad's dad's the same way. My dad is like, you know, the Ethiopian Bill Cosby, and you know, there's always something funny coming out of his mouth, and so between us all, we've actually been raised by really powerful, smart, cool people. Funny thing about it was I was close by when that all happened. Right. And I was actually in the room when he was telling the story.
He was talking to
and that's why it was so funny to me, because it was like, I think he was talking to Justin,
Stop
right?
beating that goddamn drum!
You know, the thing was, we were in the room over the garage of Chad's parents' house.
Right.
That's where, like, the Nori record and the early Khalees record were done on a Sony boombox and a Korg 01W, and it was like a cassette tape. I mean, went straight from the keyboard to a cassette tape, and then they would cut like on a 4-track, and that happened in the room, but the beat would be playing on this speaker, and that's what he was talking about, beating the drum, right? It was on this little teeny speaker, and he could hear it because his room was the wall next to it, the room of the garage.